Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lila Web Dev. Today we will learn about the concept of understanding the media types in the HTTP. So we'll try to understand this. What is this HTTP and all those things. So let's try to go about this one. Let me zoom in this one. So let's try to understand. So if you ever wondered, okay, how your computer or web browser knows how to handle a file or an HTTP message. So if you try to observe this one, so this is the correct video for you to understand. So you will understand what media types are and why they are useful and how to use them correctly, and we'll try to use it. Let's them get started. So understanding the media types for the beginners. Welcome to our comprehensive guide on media types. By the end of this presentation, you will understand what media types are, why they are critical, and how to use them correctly. And let's try to understand this one. So what are media types? Okay. So imagine you have a file on your computer, a bunch of zeros and ones. So normally the file contains a bunch of zeros and ones. How does your operating system know whether it is a PDF or an image or a JavaScript file? It looks at the file extension like .pdf or .jpg to decide which app to use to open it. For example, .css file opens in a code editor, while .jpg opens in an image viewer. In the world of the web, we have something similar called as an media types or the MIME types. So when you send an HTTP request or response, you need to tell the other side, like a browser or a server, what kind of data is in the message body. This is done using the content type header, which specifies a media type. Get this wrong and you are in the world of bugs. The browser might try to execute a CSS file or a JavaScript or just download it instead of displaying it. So setting the correct media type is super important. So that is the thing. So media types, first why we use it for file identification. Media types tell computers how to handle files. They are also called as MIME types. And also for web communication, they help browsers and servers understand HTTP message content. And content type headers, used in HTTP headers to specify what kind of data being sent. So that is the main thing. What is media types? So file extensions versus this media types. So now, used by the operating system to identify the file types. This one you already know. .pdf opens this PDF viewer, image viewer like this. And media types, file extensions used by the operating system, and here media types used by the web browsers or servers for HTTP communication. Text/HTML for HTML files, and image/PNG for PNG files, or text/CSS for CSS files. So that is the main thing. So now, so what I want to tell you is, so what is this one? So let's say that let's break down how a media type is structured. It's pretty simple. A media has three parts. So type, first one is type. This is the big category like text or image or video or application. So here you'll be able to see the text. And next one is the subtype. This gets specific like CSS or HTML, PNG or JavaScript. And the next one is optional parameters. Sometimes you need to add extra info like the character encoding for text files separated by a semicolon. For example, text/CSS is the media type for a CSS file, or text/HTML is for the HTML. So you can also mention it as a charset UTF-8 for an HTML file with UTF-8 encoding. The format is always type/subtype with an optional parameter. No dashes and no spaces, just a forward slash. If you mess this up, like saying text/cascade style C instead of text/CSS, the browser won't know what to do and your web page could break. So why media types matters? So why does this matter means, browsers rely on the content type header to interpret the data. If you send a CSS file but label it as text/HTML, the browser might try to display it as a web page instead of styling your page. Same goes for the JavaScript. If it is not marked as text/JavaScript, it won't run. Without the right media type, your website could look broken or files might just download instead of getting processed. Always specify the correct content type in your HTTP message to avoid these headaches. So that is the thing which you will win. So first one is correct rendering. Ensure browser display content properly instead of downloading it. Proper execution, styling application, error prevention. So that is the main thing. Structure of the scene. So here I already told you, right? So type/subtype. Optionally you will be having a parameter. The main components are, first one is the type/subtype. So basic are type, subtype, and the semicolon is optional parameter. Media types follow a specific structure with no spaces or dashes. So there will be no space or dashes. Only forward slash will be there, separated by the type and the subtype. So that is the main thing. So now media type example. So here you already know HTML means text slash HTML. Okay. So character set US. So this is an optional parameter for web pages. Text slash CSS for styling. JavaScript text slash JavaScript for code execution. PNG means image slash PNG for images. JSON means application slash JSON for data exchange. So fine. So now here we need to understand the classes of the types of media types. So what are the different types? So media types comes into different two categories that are also called as two classes, discrete and also a multi-part. Discrete means this is for single files like text slash CSS for a CSS file or image slash PNG for a PNG. Multi-part means this is for messages for the multiple files, like when you are uploading multiple files in the form. For example, multi-part by form data is used when you are sending a mix of text files, text and files, like a username and an image. The difference is simple. Discrete is one file, multipart is the multiple files in one message. So we'll see an example of this one. So that is the thing. So common discrete media types are text slash HTML, text slash. So these are the text types. Image means these are the things. Application types means these are the things. And multipart media types are multipart by form data used for form submissions with file uploads. Multipart by mix used for email with attachments. Multipart by alternative used for content in multiple formats. Boundary parameter separates different parts within the message. I will try to show you this on boundary. What is this boundary? So finding the right media type. Okay. So how do you know the exact media type for a file? The best place to check is the Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. That is nothing but IANA website. So you can open here like this IANA website, and you can, if you try to open it, so this is the thing. And here just search for the media types. So here you can search for the media types or MIME in an IANA.org, and you will find a complete list. For example, if you are sending a JavaScript file, means you might see application slash ECMAScript or something like that, but the correct type is text slash JavaScript. So here you can search for the media types. Okay, if you have to press enter, at the top you will be able to see the media types, and if I click on this one, so here you will be able to find wide varieties of all the things. So these are all the MIME types which are available. Okay, so I will try to show you the multi-part example with a Postman so that you can have a clear idea about this one. So you can visit the IANA website and look for media types and check for absolute types, and these are all the things. So you can check it, this one. Common media type mistakes are using incorrect types. So like text slash cascade styles instead of text slash CSS, and adding spaces or dashes where they don't belong. So not checking if the type has been deprecated or not, missing parameters. So now let's try to see in the Postman the example for this one. So for example, let's say that here, okay, so here we are having a simple example. So what I would be trying to do it is, so let's try to check with the body, and I am trying to send the form data. Okay, and here I will write name, and here I can write Leela, and here I can do the image, so which is of type text. Okay, I am trying to take that file, and here I can new file from local machine, so I can take it like this, and here in the download, so I can get some image. Okay, taking that image, the file is not in working directory, and will be able to let's go to desktop or something like this. So here I would be trying to do some documents. Let's try to upload this. Okay, let's try to open it. Okay, two files it is taking, so let's try to take one single file. So now I'm uploading this one. So if I try to send a request, I have sent the request. Let's try to see it in the terminal. Okay, let's see it in the terminal. Maybe I'm not running this one, not sending the response. So let's try to check it here. Clear, and here I will write node-net- server.js file. Okay, server is connected. Now I will try to send the response. Okay, it has sent the response like this. I have sent the request, and here you'll be able to see connection. You're able to get what could. Let's go to our code server. Okay. Try to stop this one. And here we need to send, we need to check the thing, right? Request only. I have started it. Just I want to see the request, what is the data I am getting. Okay, here it is trying to send the response. Here so much of data it is trying to send the response. Let's go to the top. Okay, so here you'll be able to see this is all the headers you are getting it, and here this is the content multipart by form data and the boundary. So this is the boundary which is this is the number which you be divided, and here the total content length is this much, and it is divided with the boundary here again, and here you will be able to see the name which I will be trying to send it. Okay, the name is equal to name. So here Leela we can able to see, and here again the content type you are able to see. So here the content type is multipart by form data, and again you are try to see content by image by png, and it is trying to send all the hexadecimal data or something like that to this one. Okay, so like this you are able to see it. So this is how you can able to. So that means in the HTTP address you will be able to see two content types. So whenever you are trying to send the content types, two types means, so here like this you will be able to send. So now before we wrap up, okay, let's go to our code. Okay, I will minimize this one, and also I will minimize this one. So now we are able to understand this one, right? So another one which I want to tell you is we can also have another way to identify the file types, that is called as the magic numbers. These are specific byte sequences at the start of the file that indicates the type. For example, a PNG file always starts with 8954E 47 in the hexadecimal. So if you open this one in, and for example, let's say that, let's go to here. So this is our PNG file, right? If you try to open with hex finder, okay, so this is the hex finder, you'll be able to see, open with hex finder. If I try to see at the top, you'll be able to see 8954E 470D, right? So these are the starting of these characters, hexadecimal characters. So you'll be able to see those are representing the type of the thing. So if you try to type it in the Google, I go to the google.com, okay, and here I can say that magic numbers for PNG, you'll be able to see the same thing, 8944E40, something like that. The same thing we are able to observe in this one also. So in the magic, in the hex find also, so you are able to see the same thing. So that is what I want to explain it to you. So that is what about this one. So magic numbers are handy for binary files like PNG or PDF, especially when the file extensions might be unreliable. So that is the main thing. So there you have it, media types or MIME types. So these are crucial for telling the browsers and servers how to handle data in HTTP messages. Use the correct type by subtype format. Check the IANA website for the right media type, and don't forget about multipart for multiple files. Get this right and you will avoid a ton of bugs. So if you find this helpful, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more tech tutorials. Drop a comment if you ever run into media type issues, something like that. I will see you in the next video. So we will dive next we will dive into HTTP methods and all those things. Thanks for watching. Bye.